So hello, this is my presentation and Abonti's presentation for environmental justice and communication. It's about Retortillo mine exploitation of uranium mine in Spain and Portugal border. So let's start. Imagine living in a town with only 200 local residents in one of the most underpopulated regions in Spain. The landscape around you, besides these little small houses, is full of holm oaks, most of them with more than 100 years. There is also just one school with only 3 children there. And in the future, they will probably work in agriculture or livestock, such as their parents did. Besides working the land, there is nothing much going on rather than organizing the annual festivities known as Fiestas de Nuestra Señora y San Roque, which the inhabitants are, of course, super proud of. The little town is called Retortillo, as we see in the map, near Salamanca, right in the middle of the Iberic Peninsula and an hour distance from Madrid. Its fate is similar to hundreds of small towns in Europe. It's getting desertified and with a very old population. So no one would hear about Retortillo if it wasn't for an Australian-based company called Berkeley Energy. It turns out that this small pueblo soil is rich in uranium and it has a potential profitable business for the company. In 2008, Berkeley established an agreement with local authorities to study the viability of exploiting uranium here. So let's start examining the 3 dimensions of environmental justice for this case. And it poses a fundamental question regarding the distribution part, jobs or health. So Berkeley was authorized to operate as a first category radioactive installation, which represents the highest potential radiological risk. As such, the company is able to have facilities producing uranium, thorium, and their compounds. So these are facilities that use radioactive sources for industrial irradiation uses. So let's see what's at stake from an environmental point of view. The mine will use the waters of Yeltes River, which is connected to the Weber River that flows to the Douro River in Portugal. So it may be an international problem. In the case of Douro River, it supplies water to 2 million people. This is one of the most remarkable fears of the project, that it may contaminate the river or the groundwater, and by consequences, all the fields. So on the other hand, it may negatively affect the market price of livestock, such as pigs and morucha, a type of Salamanca bovine meat, which is the breadwinner of the pueblo. Also, people fear radioactive dust. It has already, Berkeley, logged 25,000 holm oaks illegally, putting at risk local economies. So on the other hand, as we see on the slides, the company says the project will generate strong social benefits in form of jobs, 4,050 directly and 2,000 indirectly, and skills training in a depressed rural community. So clearly, the pros and cons weigh heavily over the population of Retortillo. Their inhabitants have the same social and political rights than the rest of Spanish population, of course, but is there any equity in this distribution of health and environmental risks? Abonti?
Okay, so thanks everybody. Now I'm going to describe about the recognition and participation part of our case. So as we know from the Schlossberg's article that justice demands a focus on recognition, participation, and distribution. And basically these 3 ideas are not separated, rather these 3 ideas are too much interlinked with each other. What does it mean? It means like if you are not recognized in any injustice process, you do not even participate that. Several theorists also agreed on this opinion, and they argues like if this happens, then it may decrease the person's membership or participation in any kind of political and institutional process regarding the social justice. So about this case, misrecognition is a serious problem because the inhabitants of Retortillo village and their rights to clean water, fresh air, or their right to exploit their land that were never ever recognized properly. Even nobody on behalf of the government, both Spain and Portugal, ever talked to them regarding this project, or they try to know about their own opinions, what they're thinking about these issues. So since 2013, when the regional government of Castilla Leon issued a favorable environmental impact statement of the uranium mining project, I mean, when the project actually initiated, since then there was no report of meetings with local authorities to discuss the matter. So here we can see there is a serious misrecognition problem. In spite of all this misrecognition, the Australian company that actually initiated the project there, they claimed on their website that they have a very good connection with the local community, but unfortunately no documents can prove that. So in addition, what happens, environmental rights of the inhabitants, not only for the Retortillo village, but also living near the pupils, living near the Eels River, Huebra River, and Douro River, they are also misrecognized, and they should be recognized because they are supposed to be the victim of water pollution, damage of their agricultural products, and increased price of livestock because of this project. So what about the participation? It's not like that they don't have any kind of participation in the process. They have some sort of participation. Say, for example, the mayor of Salamancas in 2017, he called other local residents and people from neighboring towns to attend a rally. The rally was because against the project, or stage protest against this project. And also some kind of local activism was also initiated by environmental NGOs and Iberian environmentalist groups. For instance, Stop Uranium, MIA Movimento, and No a la Mina de Uranio. So there are some sort of protests, but no protest is becoming completely successful because of this inequitable distribution, a lack of recognition, and limited participation. Nobody is actually hearing them, what they're protesting or what they're telling, I mean the inhabitants and local people, as because they have not complete recognition in this whole process. That's why there is no kind of successful participation as well. So as a result, the process is actually going on, I mean the project is going on, and in spite of all this protest, Junta de Castilla y Leon greenlighted the project in 2013, and the project is moving on. Even the Spain government has ignored the legal demand to inform Portugal about the project, which is only 40 kilometers away from the border. So what we can expect from this project? There can be a positive thing, which we may call like a light in the end of the tunnel. Say, for instance, an amendment to Spain's draft climate change and energy transition bill was presented in Spanish Parliament in May 2020, which could prohibit the exploration and extraction of uranium. But Barclay Company very successfully ignored that, just stating that this bill is unconstitutional, and as usual they are going on with their project, they are continuing their activities. So now my group member Joel will conclude this presentation on behalf of our group. Thank you.
Yes, very quickly, just some final remarks. It is a peculiar case of an international problem too. It's a transnational problem. So radioactive dust knows, as we know, knows no boundaries. This area is included in the European network Natura 2000 that includes protected areas for endangered species. So it's a super special area that it's being exploited now. There are demonstrated proofs of the health and environmental hazard of the uranium. Uranium mining costs human lives dearly. And to conclude, in an age of there a lot of Western countries are moving away from ancient energy sources and towards cleaner energy sources. This Salamanca project is an old-fashioned solution for us. So this is our references for our work. Thank you so much for listening. Is that it?